He has been on fire all season long. We were talking about him before the World Cup qualifiers as well, saying he has to earn a spot in the squad, and he most definitely did over the weekend. A 4-goal performance in a 7-0 victory for Besiktas. And guys, he also did this season, January 6th. He had another 4-goal performance in league action. And we know that when he was playing in those World Cup qualifiers with Canada, he had a hat trick. And then in another game, a goal for a total of 4 goals in 2 games. I mean, Gareth, this is just pretty incredible if you're a fan of Team Canada. And what can we expect in the June World Cup qualifiers?
Yeah, it's a story of perseverance. This is a player that took his lumps, took a step back, found some regular football in Belgium a season ago, only scored 7 goals. Now he has 19 league goals. I believe he has 23 or 24 in all competitions this year for the first time. It's been a dream season. I think he's matured, Andy. He's 26 now, which he's right in his prime, a great age, and he's found that role playing off the number 9. I think that in MLS, when he was a young player, that lone striker role maybe potentially suited him a little bit more, but this new role playing underneath as an inverted winger where he can be the secondary runner and fill the gaps and really step up into the attack the way that he's doing suits him to the ground. And you're right, scored 4 goals for Canada. There's no way that he isn't in John Herdman's first team plans. Like, he's now one of the first names on the team sheet along with David and Davies. He has to be based upon form. So look, give the player himself all the credit in the world for giving his manager at Besiktas no chance other than to keep him in the team. And now he's done the exact same thing with John Herdman as well. The player deserves all the credit in the world, and this bodes really well for the massive month of June for the Canadian men's national team.
And it's no surprise when he's putting up this type of performance this year that there are going to be rumors swirling about where he could go to next. Ollie, is it the right move for him to move now to the Premier League?
Well, I think you have to explore it because there will be a lot of interest. You know, what really impresses me about the way Cyle Larin is playing is just the range of finishes. He's clinical in the box, right? You know, whether it's first time, whether he's taking a touch or two, whatever kind of position he's in, whatever kind of angle he's at, he is just absolutely lethal right now. And clubs all over the world, of course, are looking for that player, right? Looking for the player who can turn chances into goals, and he does that on such a regular basis. So you have to be aware at the same time, as much as there is going to be opportunities out there, I think, for Cyle Larin, you have to be aware that the grass isn't always greener. We've seen it with Besiktas. You know, when he first joined the club, playing as that more out-and-out number 9, obviously didn't suit him as much as the position he's playing in now, and he struggled a little bit as a result. So you've got to find the right club that's going to, you know, fit you into their system, has the right plan for you, really understands what you are as a player and why you're succeeding right now at Besiktas. But if you can find that club, then absolutely. He's 26. The time is absolutely now to make that next step and look for a move and potentially, you know, continue to strengthen just how important he is to this Canadian team. And I agree, he is one of the first names on the team sheet now.
And I'm sure he'd like to be on a team where the spotlight is heavy, just like our boy Alphonso Davies with Bayern Munich. But we know that they're set to have a new head coach in Julian Nagelsmann. He'll take over at Bayern Munich at the end of the season. So we're really just concerned here about the Maple Leaf, right, Gareth? What does this mean for Alphonso Davies to have this new manager come on board?
It's a great question because oftentimes when the manager changes, it directly impacts the role or playing time of players that you might think would be automatic selections or automatic choices. But I think in this case, with Nagelsmann coming in, I think it actually might work well for Alphonso Davies because this is a manager with Leipzig who's worked with young players, progressed them, and made them better. My biggest question is in what formation will we see Davies play and where across the park might Nagelsmann get the most out of him? Leipzig typically plays with 3 at the back. Does that mean that will they do the same with Bayern Munich? I think that remains to be seen. Does it push him further up the field? If that does, I think that could be in alignment with the way that the Canadian men's national team wants to play the player. So I don't think that you'd rule anything out. Remember, Davies ended up at left back because of an injury. Now, with a new head coach or new manager coming in, could this mean that his role changes or shifts in this team? And oftentimes, under Nagelsmann at Leipzig, they play dynamic formations where players move around the pitch. So I think it's going to be really intriguing, and we could maybe even see a more expansive version of Alphonso Davies.
Yeah, I think it's really good news for Davies, actually. You know, Hansi Flick has always played the same system, always a 4-2-3-1 pretty much. I don't know what system Julian Nagelsmann will play, but I know that I think it will change a lot more game to game. You know, he tends to kind of tailor his approach depending on the opponent. Like Will said, sometimes it's a back three, sometimes it's a back four. So you start to see more options for Alphonso Davies. He could be more of a wing back like he is for Canada, playing a little bit higher up the field. He could still play in that back four. And, you know, I think that suits a player like Davies, who is versatile and who can adapt to different systems. You look at what Nagelsmann's done with Angelino, who, you know, has gone, you know, really from being a cast-off at Manchester City to being one of the best fullbacks in the world, contributing goals and assists every week with Leipzig. I think that's a really, really exciting prospect for what Alphonso Davies could be like under Julian Nagelsmann.
All right, let's make our way to France now in Ligue 1, and it is a dogfight between Lille and PSG. Canadian Jonathan David picking up an assist on one of the goals in the 2-0 win for Lille over Nice on the weekend, which keeps them in that top spot for now. But Ollie, how confident are you that Lille can pull this off, can hold on and win it?
It's just agonizing with Lille because it's never like with PSG. Is, you know, they win some games in this league comfortably, right? They're putting 3 or 4 goals past teams. Lille have to scrap for every single point they get, and we saw that. It was a huge result a couple of weeks ago to get the win against Lyon, to come from behind. That felt like a result that starts to make you feel like this is their year, this is meant to be. But you just know with 3 games left, even though a couple of them are against mid-table teams with not much to play for, you just know that they're going to make it painful. You just know that they're going to have to scrap tooth and nail for every single win, every single result. And you also know that PSG are probably going to win out. And so any slip up from Lille here is going to potentially be fatal. So I would, it's exciting, an exciting time to be a Lille fan, obviously, but I'm really glad I'm not one because these next 3 games are just going to be absolute agony, I think.
Side note, Scott Arfield, Milan Borjan, 2 Canadians we already know have won their league titles. I mean, Larin, Besiktas, they're going to go on and do it. Davies with Bayern, Jonathan David with Lille. Can you imagine if they all win their league titles? How bananas is that from a Canadian perspective? Yeah. Speaking from a Canadian perspective, Gareth, Davies, Larin, David, is that the best front line in Concacaf?
I don't think they are, but it's tough. It's close. Because it's very difficult. Like, look, those 3 are all incredible talents, all in fine form. But it's tough to overlook Mexico and take your pick who will play across that front line. When Jimenez is healthy, Chicharito, Tecatito, Pineda, Alvarado. I'm not sure which direction you want to go there. They have a bevy of choices. Another team that I think would be in the mix is Jamaica. If they somehow convince Mikel Antonio to join that side, look out. Leon Bailey across that front line, Bobby De Cordova-Reid, who plays for Fulham, has had a really good season. Andre Gray's in the mix there as well. So I think that all 3 of those nations, Canada, Mexico, and Jamaica, have a better front 3 than the United States. Am I wrong, Ollie?
I don't think so. Like the challenge is for John Herdman, you have so much talent that how do you fit all the pieces together, right? And that's going to be the danger here. Is it's not going to be a talent problem for Canada up front anymore. It's going to be, can you find the right balance? Can you get the most out of each one of those individuals rather than trying to cram too many good players into the same team? Because you have to find that balance. So I would put them right up there. Certainly with Raul Jimenez being out injured right now, if you were to play any CONCACAF matchup today, I think it's Canada. But Mexico, you can definitely make a case for in the longer run.